everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin cupcakes. It's going to be short and sweet. So first I put in half a cup of softened butter. Make sure it's not melted, but make sure it didn't just come out of the fridge because you want it to be soft enough to mix. Then you're going to take some sugar and you're going to be putting in half a cup of white sugar and then half a cup of brown sugar. Then you're going to go ahead and mix these together. Now I try not to cut out any of the filming of the mixing because I wanted you to see how long it generally takes. I mean, at this point, I thought maybe I missed something, that I didn't add liquid when I should have, but if you keep at it and keep mixing, it eventually does mix together. The butter does bind the sugars together. And here I'm showing you where it's really crumbly, but eventually it really does get to a good consistency. So here I don't use pumpkin from a can. I actually take little pie pumpkins, I put them in the oven, and once they're softened, I take out the guts and I blend them up, and then just like here, you can see that there's a puree made. You add just a little bit of water into that puree just to make it a good consistency. And then you can use it for things like pumpkin pies and these pumpkin cupcakes. At this point, it kind of turned into a weird consistency where it looked like the butter was separating from the water that was inside the pumpkin puree, which is probably what was happening because water and butter doesn't mix very well. But this seems like it was supposed to happen because everything went great from this point on. Now you're going to take 2 eggs and add them. Make sure the eggs are room temperature, so don't do what I did and just take them out of the fridge right before using them. Then you're going to take flour, and if you notice the way I'm measuring this, I'm going into the bag of flour and pressing the cup against the side wall so I'm able to pack in the flour. Now I didn't have a 1 cup measuring spoon because it was dirty since I used it for something else. So I used, I think, 1/4 of a cup. So I just had to measure it lots of times. I think I might have even used 1/8 of a cup because you're supposed to put 1 1/4 cups of flour into this mix. Then you're going to take baking powder, 1 teaspoon of it, and then half a teaspoon of baking soda. Then you're going to sprinkle in half a teaspoon of salt, and then what I ended up doing is putting 3 teaspoons of pumpkin pie seasoning or spice into this recipe. If you'd like to, you could put 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I usually don't put that in any of my recipes because it's too expensive and I don't feel like it changes the flavor. So now I'm just taking in spoonfuls of this batter and putting it into these linings. I actually filled them a little more than I should have. Try to fill them at about half. That way you can get about 2 dozen cupcakes out of it. These are Halloween themed linings and they were super cute, especially with the color of the cupcakes since they were a little orange. Now I'm going to be making the icing. For this, you're going to take half a cup of room temperature butter, 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, and 4 cups of powdered sugar. I ended up putting less powdered sugar, and I also had to put about 2 teaspoons of water just because it was too thick. And then you just see that I'm piping it on. You could pipe any design. You could also put more onto the cupcakes. I put less just because I was running out of time and had to get them done. So I had a lot of leftover icing. But that's also great too because you can make another batch of these cupcakes and use the icing for that. See how much I had left? And finally, I'm using these icing decorations that I got at a Halloween store just to make these cupcakes Halloween themed for the season. I love how cute this one is, the little ghost. These were so adorable. Anyway, have a great day, and if you make these cupcakes, make sure to tag me at Sarah Alexandra Videos on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to see your rendition of these, and especially if you make different color icing, put different toppings on it, you can make them look scarier or cuter. These cupcakes tasted amazing, and I love the mix of the pumpkin flavor and the cream cheese flavor. So anyway, have a great day, and I hope to see you for next week's video. Bye!